Morning, gang. It's Saturday the 14th of July 2018 on a sunny morning here in Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk. I must admit, I'm a bit bleary-eyed this morning. Do you ever get up sometimes and your eyes are blurry? Not all the time. Like, not to the point where you need glasses. Although if I put glasses on today, like I'm looking at my screens in front of me and everything's a bit blurry and I put these on and it's not much better actually. Just a minute. Yeah, my eyes are kind of blurry, but they have been since I woke up. I woke up about 7 o'clock this morning, but I stayed in bed till about 8:15 this morning. You know, I think I might have drifted off once or twice, but I'm just waking up earlier and earlier. As I say, I was talking to the lady who lives down there a little bit, and she says it's your age. As you get older, you simply wake up earlier. I don't know how true that is. Anyway, good morning to you. I went for a swim after I spoke to you yesterday. We had a little chat yesterday. Then we had lunch, and then I went to pick up Ronnie. And on the way to the, we were going to go into town. Well, I had a cheque to put in. Yes! How rare is that now to get a cheque? I get like 4 cheques a year. And they come from South East Electricity. I had solar panels put up it's about 11 years old now I've had those solar panels on the roof. And 4 times a year I get a cheque, depending on how much solar electricity I've made. Now, whether I use it or not is neither here nor there. Doesn't matter. You get money for... We're not talking hundreds of pounds here. Okay, I just want to tell you that. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And I get money 4 times a year, depending on how much electricity I've made, which is depending on how much the sun has been hitting those panels, full on. Okay, and I think I got the highest one I've ever got this time, £74. It's not bad, is it? £74 for doing nothing. Well, good. Now, usually, this period, it'll either be this period, I think it's January, February, March, April, May, June. Is it June or July? Oh, no, I think it runs February, March, April. So you send your reading in April, May, June, and then again in July, just a few days ago, August, September, October. So these two, the one I've just had now and the next one, are the largest ones. So if I've got like 70, and that is the most I've ever got, £74. Okay? When I got my solar panels, the government were paying so much back. Now, after that, the money went up, but I'm locked into that lower payment. Okay, then it went really high. Now it's back down again. So that's just how it is. So I'm locked in at the lower payment. So if I was to get that twice, £74, and another 74 in October, well, it's £150. That's practically paying all my electricity for the year. It's not bad, is it? And then in winter, sort of, the December, the sort of November, January, February one, I think it is. I think you'd be lucky to get like 25, 30 quid on that one. But it's good, isn't it? So I popped into town to put my cheque. I rushed to the bank, dear. Oh, no, I can't have cheques and money in the house. No! What if I'm burgled? What if I'm burgled and they take away my paltry £74 cheque? You don't know. It's all very well saying, they can't cash it. It's got your name on it. You don't know. These criminals have got ways of doing things, boys. They've got ways of doing things. My credit cards are in my pocket at all times, wrapped in about 200 pieces of Bako foil in case someone steals the little wireless things that are coming out of them, giving them all my information. It's very come back cash, bring back the cash. That's what I say. So I rushed down to the bank to put my little thing on. The poison dwarf wasn't in there this morning. She's the poison dwarf who sits on the front desk looking miserable all the time with her glasses on. I don't know where she was. It was a very nice lady, actually. Thin, grey hair, glasses. She's lovely, she is. Good morning, how are you today? And she smiles like that. And I wish she'd have that crown done, because there's like a crown she's got. She's got a crown on her tooth and it looks like it doesn't fit properly. So, I saw someone with really nice teeth. I was watching on the telly and I thought, Donald Trump. He's got good teeth, hasn't he? Have you noticed? When he does that smile? To the camera? You look at his teeth, they're perfect. He must spend a blooming fortune on those teeth, dear. A fortune. Wants to go to the NHS, it's much easier there. Cool, I remember going to that private dentist. I went to a private dentist for years. £800 a year minimum I must have been paying him. Started going back to the NHS one. Don't have any work to be done. Spend there about £32 a year on 2 checkups or whatever it is. Anyway, so I went to the bank. Put my check, rushed to the machine and put the check in. My mate was with us as well. And I was also having a conversation. My sister rung up and she was looking after baby James. Now, baby James is 1 year old. He is the son, one of the sons of my niece Tracy. And I was having a conversation with him on the phone. Oh, yes. He was saying, and I was going, down the phone to him. And he was going, and I was going, and when I was going, he was listening because he weren't making the noise. He would wait until I finished and then he would go. And I would go, and I'll be honest with you, you know, it's so much more interesting. You see these overprotective mothers, don't you, at the pubs. Oh, hello, coo, 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 everything all right? No, those babies don't want to listen to all that mollycoddling, dear. They want to have proper adult conversations. So I had a conversation with baby James. We parked in Waitrose, and I was tempted yesterday, boys and girls. They've got a wonderful free car park there. I parked in there, and they've got all new. They've got like a flower display outside. Not flower, plants. All plants outside the shop. And the bloke who looks after that really well looked after the plants outside the front of Waitrose. Really, there's a bloke who's always doing it. Same bloke all the time. That's probably why he knows exactly what he's doing. Outside Aldi, I've got to tell you, they have plants outside Aldi, right? If you get there on the day that they are delivered, right, they're perfectly all right. You can buy them. The next day, they're like that. And the day after, they are completely dead. And for the whole week afterwards, they continue to wheel out dead plants. They absolutely continue to wheel out dead plants. These plants are dead when they're outside. No one looks after them. The ones outside Aldi, the ones at Waitrose, beautiful. And I saw the giant daisies. You know those giant daisies? I was tempted, boys and girls. £5 a pot. That's not bad, is it? £5 for one of those. But I didn't buy any. My mate bought some. He bought those long things with little mauve things on the top like that. So that's it. Now, the other purpose of going out yesterday, I wanted to go to Homebase to buy a little table and chairs. I've got to go back there again today. Sainsbury's Home. It's not Sainsbury's, is it? I keep saying Sainsbury's. That's because they changed the name, isn't it? Or they got bought out. Sainsbury's, from Sainsbury's Homebase. It's just Homebase, isn't it? I must remember that. It's like people who change their mobile phone numbers. That's one of the worst things you can do, especially if you've got a business or you're an entertainer or something like me. Like international television star. Like me. If you're like me, an international television star waiting for work to arrive, you know, then you never ever change your mobile phone number. It's the worst thing you can do. And then you start ringing it, and then months later, so, oh, hello, Chris, haven't heard from you. Well, I've been trying your number. Oh, I changed it. I mean, how thick can you be? How thick can you be to change your mobile phone number and not tell anyone? On the other hand, people do it, and they do tell people like me, right? So you might have your phone like that, and you get a little message, text, beep, 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 and you look at the text, and it says, oh, this is my new number. And you think to yourself, oh, I'll do that later, and then you don't do it. You don't do it. So it's not just the people who change their number who don't tell people. It's people like myself who get that text telling you the number's been changed, and you don't do it there and then you just forget. Please, never ever, and you don't need to change your mobile number. If you go from network to network, you can port your number. I like that word, port. You can port your number from one place to the other. Okay? It's like the Homebase, they changed their name, and I still call it Sainsbury's Homebase. Oh, who was the It was British Gas. Changed the name British Gas to Centrica, didn't they? I mean, what the hell's that? Centrica. And didn't the post office do it as well? I think Royal Mail changed their name to something ridiculous that was nothing to do. You couldn't associate the name of Royal Mail with letters or post or mail. Now, what was it they changed it to? Can't remember. That these branding people who they pay, believe me, thousands and thousands of pounds to, they come up with these ridiculous names and logos. Now, the best example I can give you of a bad change of logo was British Airways. This would be back early 80s, okay? And British Airways, they always had the Union Jack. The Union flag, I beg your pardon, the Union flag on the back tail fin. They always had that. And some prat had decided that it would be more socially, I don't know, politically correct perhaps, to have different things on there depicting different countries and places like that. Are you for real? I remember Margaret Thatcher going, you might remember this on the news if you're of an age. She went to, oh, don't like Margaret Thatcher. Oh, please, get real, we're not talking about that. Not talking about that. Don't like, oh, I'm left wing. Don't like Margaret Thatcher. Oh, we hate her. Oh, shut up. Shut up. And she went to the British Airways place. I think they unveiled a new aircraft or something like that. And they got to the tail fin. And they had one of these honky-tonky designs on the tail fin. No Union Jack anywhere to be seen. Right? And the bloke says, what do you think of the new design of the tail fin picture? And she didn't even look up. She said, it's absolutely awful. Awful. And walked off. Up yours, British Airways. And then to add insult to injury, I mean, British Airways got that so badly wrong. Because then Richard Branson from Virgin says, well, we'll have the Union Jack, and took the design and put it on their planes. How stupid can you be? Once you've got a logo that works, bloody well leave it alone. Or the name of a company, Centrica. So what is that? So how does Centrica in any way indicate that that's something to do with gas? It doesn't, does it? Stupid names. Absolutely stupid names. Anyway, so I went to Homebase then. And I went in there to buy a little wooden chair and... a little wooden table and a couple of chairs because I bought a caravan up north near my sister in Lincolnshire, where I'm going to be spending a lot of time from next week, actually. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And so I'm going in there, and there's loads of tables and chairs and boxes everywhere, stacked all over the place. And Ronnie says, what about this one here? I said, no, that one's too big. Because this is for like a quite narrow veranda. You'll just about get the table probably against the fence and two chairs with your backs against the caravan. So when my sister comes round, which will probably be most mornings, demanding cups of tea and biscuits and things like that, I'm all ready for her. And I had an idea what I wanted. Just a little square table that, you can put away if you want to, okay? So I was looking around, I can't find this table. Oh, here it is. This is the one. And we found one. Was it £25 for this table? Wooden. Don't want plastic. Plastic is just, no. There was a glass one there that was £15. That was all right as well. That wasn't too bad. But I knew what I wanted, like a wooden one. So we got this wooden table, right? And I said, well, what do we do? Take that one? He said, no, you have to find what one box is, my mate said. Okay, so I'm going up and down looking at these boxes. Of course, there's every item there, except the one that I want. Well, it must be here somewhere, up and down, stacks of boxes everywhere, all over the place. Can't find it. So then we call over this bloke in Homebase. Older bloke, I suppose, probably a little bit older than myself. Right, a little bit older than myself. And we say, excuse me, we want to buy this table, but we can't find the box. I'll go and ask at the desk. And walked off. Oh, what is the point of you being there if you're not there to help people? Rude. Ask at the desk. Walks off. Rude. What's the point? What's the point? You don't get that in Waitrose or John Lewis, dear. You go, Waitrose, dear. Could you tell me where the marmalade? Yes, I'll take you to it. And they take you to the place. They walk it. They hold your hand. If you're disabled, they push your wheelchair there for yourself. You haven't even got to use your battery to get there. Push your little joystick forward. They will walk you there. If you was a small baby, like baby James, no doubt the member of Waitrose staff would pick you up and take you and place you right in front of the marmalade or whatever it is you wanted. Homebase, so ask at the desk, mate, and walks off. Oh, well. So then, right, my mate walks over to the desk. Oh, by the way, I'm looking for the chairs as well. So I found some chairs I've liked. Can I find the box of chairs? Yes, I found the box of chairs. There were two in a box, two chairs in a box, right? So I'm looking at, so he's gone over to the desk, right? Then he's come back. I said, what did they say? Oh, they're sending a bloke over. Oh, for God's sake, man. So then there's this announcement. Can you report to the garden centres section, please? I could do that with an echo. The garden section, please. Like that. Right, so we're standing there, we're waiting. And we're browsing now. And I found, good job I did have the delay, actually, I'll be honest, because I found two chairs that I preferred to the two that I'd originally seen. They're those director chairs. You know the director ones? So they're wooden with, like, material that you sit in. So you don't sit, like, on a wooden piece of, like, wood. You sit on, like, material. And it's all quite comfortable. Now, I've got two of those in my garden here that I've had 15, 20 years or so. And they're still perfectly all right. I think I've had to replace a nut. I think I lost a nut once. You don't want to lose a nut, boys. I lost a nut, so I replaced that. Apart from that, they're perfectly all right. I've taken the material off and put it through the washing machine. The only thing is it gets a bit tight after that. You have to re-stretch it out. I don't think you're supposed to wash them. So I picked up two of these director's chairs. £30 each. That's all right. That's not bad, is it, eh? Very well made. And then eventually, my mate re-arrives and tells me there's a bloke. They're going to send a bloke over. So eventually a bloke arrives. Hello, mate. We're looking for that table there. But we can't find it. Are we looking in the right place? Well, that's all we've got, really. What's up there? And he's just standing there. This bloke is just standing there telling us that, oh, well, if we can't find it, it's probably not there. Why don't you have a look, you lazy bastard? Have a look for us. How rude are you? Rude. So we carried on. Oh, we can't make it. Shall we just take the one that's there? It's got a label on. Oh, no. You can't take that one. Oh, why is that then? Oh, that's a display model. No, they stay there till the end of season and then we sell them off. Well, but you haven't got another one. Yeah, but you can't have the display one. I'm sorry. There it is on the ground in front of us with the label on it, with a little price tag and, the little lines on, what is that thing? A barcode on it. It's all there in front of us. The only thing is, it's not in a box. Okay? All right, okay. Well, thanks very much, mate. And he's gone. He's gone. Couldn't wait to get away from us. Perhaps he didn't like standing next and talking to the two buffs. Because we do play on it sometimes. We like, me and my mate, we like to make alpha males feel a bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean, lads? We do. When they come at I'm no, don't fancy blokes, mate. Like, we like to make those sort of people feel very, very uncomfortable. As uncomfortable, so we do play on it. Well, I mean, we can't find one of those boxes anywhere. We've looked up and down, and my legs are worn out. Yeah, well, we ain't got any left, mate. I was like, right? So he's gone off. And I've said to Ron, I said, well, that's no good, is it? This is the one I want. And Ron says, just pick it up. I said, do you know what? You're right. So I've got my box of two, well, I've got two chairs, right? I've got the chairs. He's folded the table up, picked it up. We've gone to the till, paid for everything and walked out. That was it. Thank you very much. Got my table. I mean, how unhelpful you were at Homebase Very disappointed. Very disappointed. You go in, and it was an old bloke as well. You'd think if he was a bit older, he might be a little bit more helpful, wouldn't you? Huh? No, not at all. It's over there, mate. Over there. Didn't want to help us at all. So as soon as the bloke went round the corner, we folded up the display model, took it to the till, paid the money, and off we went. Someone's going to go there tomorrow. Oh, where's that? I bet they won't even notice it's missing, will they? That's how to deal with it. Idiots. Idiots. Jobs worth. If you had an item, think about it, right? If you had a shop and you had an item on display, you didn't have any other items, and someone wanted to give you the money for that item, wouldn't you sell it to them? You know why? It's because the money's not going in his pocket. That's why. That's exactly why, isn't it? Stupid people. So loaded up the car, and that's all ready. I've got stuff in my car already to take to my caravan on Monday night. I'm very, very excited. So that was that, really. Came back here. Let's have a look there. Had a little sleep. My sister went round to the caravan in Lincolnshire at night. My sister's, it's very near my sister, so she's got the keys. I've got the keys. It's all paid for and everything now. It wasn't overpriced at all. You know, I've got that for a very good price, actually. So my sister went round to the caravan and she put in an old telly. She had an old spare 32-inch telly. It's not a smart telly or anything like that. So she's put the telly in the caravan along with her husband, my brother-in-law, Martin. And that's all well. So I've got the telly in there as well now. She also found the old owner's phone. The old owner had left a phone there, unfortunately. So I emailed the owner, said, we found the phone down the back of the settee. She said, oh, thank God for that. She said, I've been looking for that everywhere. I said, well, I'll send it to you. So she sent me her address, and we're going to send that off, or my sister's going to send that off this morning. So that was my day yesterday. Last night, of course, karaoke last night, which was very nice. Nice lot of new singers in there last night, I must say. Some lovely girls in there singing away and all very happy. Lovely atmosphere in there last night. And the best moment of the night is when Alan Bailey, it was his birthday. He's a regular attendee at the karaoke. He doesn't sing much, but he comes and just takes in the atmosphere and meets people and likes talking. And he's a lovely bloke, Alan Bailey. Really, really nice bloke. It was his birthday last week. I think it was 30. Was he 30? 31? Something like that. And you remember, we were talking on the show about Fry's chocolate cream a few shows ago. Do you remember that? Well, he came in and he said, look what I've got you. Fry's chocolate cream, which I can't eat at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't eat this at the moment until my next Slimming World weigh-in, because I've gone literally just over my range. We're talking by half a pound, but nevertheless, over is over. It's like when you get done for speeding, isn't it? You know, I've been done for speeding in a 30-mile-an-hour zone doing 34. Okay, but the police would say, you know, over is over. It's 30. Not 31, not 32, it's 30. And my weight should be no higher than 12 stone, 3 pounds. This week it was 12 stone, 3.5 pounds. So I've got to wait for my next weigh-in. And do you know how difficult it is to have that in your bag, knowing you can't eat it until after your next weigh-in, assuming it's come back down again? But it's still here. It's still here. And I will show it to you every day, at least while I'm doing the shows, in proof that it's still here, okay? Thank you very much, Alan Bailey, for my Fry's. I haven't had one of these for years. It's got to be 15, 20 years since the paper's all different now. It's all wrapped in plastic, isn't it, as well? Oh, that's great for the environment, isn't it, I suppose? What happened to the little... Why did they stop doing that? You remember chocolate used to come wrapped in a bit of silver, didn't it? And then it would have a bit of paper on it afterwards. Silver, aluminium. Not aluminum. No, aluminium, dear. Aluminium. So that was nice. On the way home, I had LBC on the way home. I listened to Nick Abbott. He was in... Because he's obsessed with Donald Trump and Brexit, Nick Abbott. That's all he talks about now. I mean, it gets annoying at times. I have to turn it off. But he was in overdrive yesterday. Absolute overdrive, going on and on about Donald Trump. And then just before 1 o'clock, I don't get home till after 1 o'clock. Just before 1 o'clock, the the overnight presenter came on, Matt Stadlen, so I turned him off quickly. Oh, God, he's so boring. He's so serious and boring all the time. Matt Stadlen on LBC. Have you listened to him? He's on about 1 o'clock, and he does these little videos on his Twitter thing. He does these little intro videos like, hello, what do you think about Donald Trump visiting Brexit? It's all coming up in LBC at 12 o'clock. And he never smiles. What a miserable bastard. He could be working in Homebase with the old bloke who didn't help us. Couldn't he? So that was my day yesterday. Got back here, had a bit of dinner, went to sleep, got up this morning, watched BBC Breakfast. Did you watch that? I like BBC Breakfast in the morning. I did try last week the ITV Breakfast programme. What's that now? I can't even remember the title. Good Morning World. Good Morning. Good Morning, I think it's called, on ITV, with that ghastly Piers Morgan or whatever his name is, and Susanna Reid, and it's so cold. It's so cold and unwelcoming and unwarm. It's awful, that programme. So I don't watch that. I was watching BBC Breakfast this morning, and they were doing a little bit of a sports report. I have to say, for some very, very good-looking mixed race lad this morning, he was in Moscow. What a beautiful place Moscow is, don't you think? Or at least the tourist bit is. You know, all those wonderful... Because I like bright colours. I love bright colours. Not for me, you know, the magnolias and the greys and the I don't know, the white with a hint of blue in this world. No, bright, bold colours. And you look at Moscow, and those buildings are just beautiful. All brightly coloured painted. Which one does Mr. Putin live in? Does he live in one of those? In one of those Moscow buildings. Beautiful. Anyway, standing there, and probably not like that in other areas. A bit like London. You know, the tourists come and they go and visit Parliament, the London Eye, Big Ben, Madame Tussauds. Don't go to Madame Tussauds. That is one of the most boring places ever. Madame Tussauds. I never forget. Never forget. Years ago, it's about 10, 15 years ago now, I went with my sister and my niece and who else was there? And Jimmy, my nephew, and Martin, my sister's husband. I think that's all. I don't think Gary was there, my other nephew. They were children then. They're adults now. And, well, I mean, you know, Madame Tussauds is a waxworks. Okay? So you can go in there and look at models of people turned into wax. We know that before we go in. So why is it that when you go in and you see all these things, you get bored very quickly? The most exciting part of going in there was putting your hands in this wax thing and making wax hands of yourself. It is so boring. And it's a fortune to go in there. Madame Tussauds, it's so boring. But that's where the tourists go, places like that. I mean, you wouldn't want, you know, if an American tourist or whoever, French, German, whatever, if they came to you and said, you know, what can we go and see? You wouldn't say Hackney, would you? You wouldn't say Croydon. You wouldn't say Peckham. Do you know what I mean? You might say Camden Town for the markets. You might say Brixton for the markets. You might say Putney. Putney's all right. Putney by the river. But you wouldn't say Hackney or Croydon. Do you know what I mean? And it's probably exactly the same in Moscow and all parts of the world. There are bits that you would want the tourists to go. For example, in Moscow, those beautifully coloured buildings. They're just stunning. But there's probably some back streets in Moscow that I wouldn't go to, where the gay clubs are. Actually, I might go to those places. Awful, awful. Anyway, and they were interviewing about the England fans and the football. Because I think there's a match. I don't know if is it today or tomorrow. I can't remember. But now, right, so I don't understand this. So we lost the semi-final. Now they have another match to see who's going to be third. I mean, what is the point of that? We lost. That's it. Go home. Bye-bye. You know, they did very well, the England team, I think. Very well indeed. What is the point of having another match with two losers? Losers! Belgium, and is it Belgium or France? I don't know. I don't even know who it is. I think it's France. No, Belgium. Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. What is the point of having another match with two teams who have both lost? What the hell's all that about? That's just madness. Go home. You've played well. You both played very well. Well done. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. No, they've got to string it out as long as possible, isn't they? I mean, can you imagine if they did that on the Eurovision Song Contest? It would go on forever. We've already got 3 long bloody shows now instead of 1. You could have a weekly Eurovision Song Contest. In fact, talking of little contests. Now, you know, I know people who keep going on about wanting a prize because they get the first message in. I've had an idea. How about we do a viewer of the week? So behind me there, perhaps just above my picture of me and my mum. Yes, it is an old picture, yes. About 20 years, if you must know. But how about if I put a little picture here, or maybe next to Barry, who's a bit crooked today, perhaps above Barry, viewer of the week. And each week I select. No, I won't select. We'll have to do some sort of competition. Whoever gets the first message in the most times in a week. As you know, the show starts at different times. You need to have your little, what do you call it? Yeah, the little notifications thing on. So whenever you see a show start, quickly get on and say, am I the first? And then I'll take a note of your name. Of the person who gets the most messages in first in a week can go up there. Viewer of the week. Because they do that down the sports centre where I go to, down the gym and the swimming pool. They have member of the month. Well, I think we should have viewer of the week. Do you like that idea? I bet you like that idea, don't you? You can have your little picture displayed there. And you can send in it. We won't have anything rude. We're not having body parts up there, you know, or anything like that. But if you want to send in a picture of you in the skimpiest bikini or swimming trunks, then I will display it up there for all to see. But it must be child-friendly because we are a children's programme in some countries. I'm sure we are. We are... As the children come home from school, they can't wait to see me on the television, along with the rest of the world, to be honest. Along with the rest of the world. Good. Well, that's it then. Now, Caravan. I've been telling you last couple of days that certainly for 4 days a week, I'm not going to be here, okay? My mate's over the moon because he's going to be staying here now 4 days a week. He's so pleased because I've got the big house. I mean, this is massive, this house. Got to tell you. I live in my own studio. I do. So he's coming here for 4 days a week. How fabulous is that? Because he's only got a little skanky little flat. So he's coming here to stay, you know, while I'm not here. Now, while I'm away, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the shows. I think, because I've been thinking about this, I think what's going to happen is that when I'm here, the shows will be, as now, in the morning, round about this time, okay? When I go up there, I think they're likely to be nighttime shows. And the reason for that is my sister, and I will be fitting in with my sister, not the other way round. My sister is generally doing stuff in the morning, but not at night. They sit there and watch the telly. I'm not a television watcher. So I can just, I mean, I think that works really well because then we get different people as well watching at night and different people during the day. And some people will watch whatever time it is and join us in. It's not just about watching, is it? It's about joining in as well. And you talk to each other on the chat things and all that business. So I think what will happen, as long as I've got internet down there, an internet connection down there, which I'll find out next week, I think it's likely that I'll be doing shows at night time. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, as now, okay? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at night. I think that's what will probably happen, all being we've got an internet connection down there. All right? Okie doke, let's say hello and read some of your messages which have been pouring in for the last 40 minutes. Good morning to Joanna, watching on YouTube this morning. Good morning, Joanna. Hope you're well. Good morning to N. Welcome along to N this morning. Jeffrey Martin's there. Hello, Jeffrey. N says, my union flag has charms hanging from it. Little charms. What are they? Little Theresa Mays hanging from there, are they? N says, isn't Richard Branson South African? I don't know, is he? I've no idea. Don't know. Good morning to Weird City Citizen. Also on YouTube this morning. Let's have a look there. Vic says, have you ever noticed that you never see Donald Trump and Satan together? Oh, aren't you awful? Good morning to John Parrish. Hello, John. Matt Stadler. You know him as well. Matt Stadler is bloody useless. We prefer the two Nicks and Steve Allen, who you remind me of. Actually, Steve Allen is my top talk host. He is absolutely my top talk host, John. So you saying that is very, very complimentary. Thank you very much. I didn't realise that. When you're doing like shows and radio and video and telly and anything like that, you know, you never want to be copying someone. You want to do your own thing. Don't try and copy someone because you'll fail miserably. There's a lot of people who've done that over the years. The two Nicks, Nick Abbott and Nick Ferrari. Yeah. So you like it, all the same people as I do, John. Matt Stadler is just so there's no warmth at all, is there? It's just like reeling off information. There's no personality whatsoever, I'm afraid. That's what I think anyway. There's no key rings, I keep telling you. Hello to let's have a look there. Piper Salam, morning to Piper. Steve Christopher Murray is there. Good morning to you, sir. Over on Facebook Live, Adam the Plumber got the first message in this morning. Good morning, Adam. Perhaps I should take... I'm not going to start that yet because wait till I come back from my first week at the caravan to see how that all pans out, all right, that business with that. Good morning, Diane, Jeb, Alan Campbell, my first childhood best friend. Good morning, Alan. Morning to Evan. He's down in Cornwall. Morning, Evan. I see they've got some sort of new telescope happening, some sort of new big radio telescope. With dishes all over the place, which is quite exciting. Saw that on the news this morning. Morning, Ray Reynolds. Eamonn. Good morning, Eamonn. Mark Cobain. Hello, Mark. You was at the march yesterday, wasn't you, Mark? I think taking loads of photos. Good morning, Colin. Ray Reynolds. Trump. Not long till he packs his trunk. Is he gone already, I think, hasn't he? Has he gone? Has he gone? I'm not sure if he's gone or not. Good morning, Gustav, who's very late today. You won't get the bookmark. No, there's no bookmarks, I'm afraid. Sorry, mate. Trump's teeth may be like stars. They come out at night. Thank you, Colin. I think you might be right there. Hello to Laura. Hello, Laura. Adam says he's had his mobile phone number since 2001. Very sensible, Adam. I've had mine. I think I've had my mobile phone number ever since Orange came out. I went with Orange, got the number, and I've kept that number ever since. Yeah, it's never a good idea to change your mobile number, and it's unnecessary. You don't need to change your mobile number. You can port your number wherever you go. Good morning from Paul Adamson is Amsterdam on the 65-inch telly. Oh, I'm on a big telly as well. Lee Mills is watching us on a big telly. He says, I hate it when people say when you call them, oh, I was just about to call you. They lie. They lie, Lee. They lie, Lee. I'm not going to lie to you, Lee. Lee, I am never, ever going to call you. There you go. So you must like me. I will never, ever call you, Lee. Don't hang around waiting for a phone call from me. I'm not going to call. Okay? See, I haven't lied to you. Oh, dear. Oh, those messages have just jumped forward. I may well miss out some of them now. That's annoying. Sorry, gang. Sorry, I've been talking so much this morning. But I prefer to have a little bit of a conversation. Otherwise, you just sit here and read out messages. And that's not a show, is it? Do you know what I mean? Ray Reynolds says, change of names which didn't work. Carlton Television. Oh, that was a disaster, wasn't it? I mean, they may have made more money than Thames, but there was just nothing there. Again, it's a bit like someone with a personality, Thames, and someone without, Carlton. There was no personality, nothing. You know what I mean, Ray. You know what I mean. Carlton Television, Cameo Cinemas. Never heard of those. CIF. CIF, and he puts all these other bits and pieces there, which people won't get that, Ray. Adam, did you lose your nut off your chair when you sneezed and fell off it? That is correct, Adam. I don't know, is that on the opening film, that one? I'm not sure if it's on the opening film. I've got this bit of film that I did years ago, and I sneezed on a chair and I just fell backwards into my bushes. Adam says, go to IKEA next time you need stuff for the caravan. I think I'll need a little table and chairs for the living room. We might well go to IKEA. But my sister, she knows all the cheap things. Of course, you know what happened yesterday, don't you? What happened yesterday? Of course, I rang her up and said, oh, I got a table and chairs. Oh, did you? What did you pay? So I said, well, £90. I got a little table and 2 chairs. She said, how much? I said, don't tell me you'll know it's cheaper. Well, it is. I know a shop. I said, well, why didn't you tell me that? Don't tell me afterwards. Don't tell me. Do you know the amount of times, when you buy something and then someone says, oh, you could have got it. Well, why didn't you tell me before? I told you I was buying a table and chairs. You didn't say, don't buy them until you come up. Oh, God's sake. Danny says, hello, Danny. Good morning, Danny. I always use B&Q for that kind of stuff. Can't bear home-based staff, dear. My mums have an argument with many of them. Well, they're not helpful at all. The B&Q staff, they tend to be older, don't they? Sort of 60 plus. They're very helpful. I've been in there before and they've been very helpful. Morning to non-Irish Mary from Ireland. Good morning, Mary. Hope you're well today. Diane Jeb's there. Good morning, Britain. That was the ITV morning thing, isn't it? Good morning, Britain. That's the thing of. Good morning to Ray Balesco. Morning, Ray. Julian Clark's there. Are you going to Russia? Wants to know. No, won't be going to Russia, Ray. Don't need to go anywhere now. Got a caravan. Oh, by the way, has anyone seen that programme yet? 5 Go Caravanning. Tony Blackburn, Sherry Houston, Colin Baker, Todd, the bloke from Grange Hill and EastEnders, and The Bill, and one other. Who's the other one? They can't be very well known. Sonia. Sonia's the other one. It's on Channel 5. Very good, I've watched so far. I watched half an hour of it. It's on Friday nights, 8 or 9 o'clock on Channel 5 Colour. Okay, Channel 5 Colour it's on. Russ. Belgium versus England today at 3 o'clock. Thank you very much. Third place playoff. France versus Croatia at 4 o'clock tomorrow, which is the final. I don't understand why you want to have 2 losing teams playing a game. That's just stupid. They obviously just want their money's worth. That would be what it is. Morning, Adam. Viewer of the week. You're liking the idea of viewer of the week. Yes. You have a little picture there and it stays there the whole week. You're liking that idea, okay. Danny Gibbs likes the idea of viewer of the week. Thank you, Ray. It was nice to see you last week as well. Paul Adamson likes to see members. Yes. Yes, so obviously I'll ask you first. Do you mind if I display your picture there for 1 week? Ray, in Great Yarmouth in the 70s, they had a waxworks, which was so bad no one looked like they were supposed to. I remember that. There was a waxworks, wasn't it? Was it Great Yarmouth? I didn't know that. Anyway, so they opened the doors and none of the waxworks looked like the people they were supposed to look like. Isn't that mind you, there's some people on the telly like that now, aren't there? They've had so much facial work. You look at them. Is it you? Don't have facial work done. It's a mug's game, that is. I mean, I worked with someone for years, a bloke for years, and he had facial work done, and then he stopped. He looks older than he should have done. I'm permanently young looking. I'm like the Peter Pan of the entertainment world. I really am. They had Edward Heath standing next to Adolf Hitler at a big table, and everyone's shoes and suits had never been dusted. They changed the pop artist of the day by just changing the sign every couple of years. That was in Great Yarmouth. Dear me. Let's have a look. Trump's in Scotland at the moment playing golf. Oh, yeah, that bloke flew over. Or someone. Was it a girl, bloke? Doesn't matter. Someone flew over with a sign. I mean, how did they do that? You see, that wouldn't happen in America. You'd be shot down. Lucky that it's here. You would be shot down in America if that happened. Not here. No, we'd just let them fly over him. Adam, I feel like an IKEA date coming on with you and Ronnie. No, I'll do that at that end. That'd be big. How big's the caravan? 2 bedrooms, 1 big one and a small one. Okay. And it's nice. It's nice. It's not a new one. It's certainly not a new one. Ray, do you ever go to Morrison's? Yes, I do. I go to Morrison's to buy the Quorn steaks because they're only £2.50 and everywhere else they're like £2.70. Waitrose want £3.20 for those. I wrote to them. I wrote to Waitrose, how can you be charging £3.20 for Quorn steaks when they're £2.50 at Morrison's? And then, oh, we check our prices regularly. And it was like one of those copied letters that they just changed the name at the top. I weren't impressed by that at all. Very disappointing. Good morning to Rob Thompson. Morning, Rob. Nice to have a little private chat with you the other day. Morning, Rob. And Ben said Todd Carter. That's it. Todd Carter is the other bloke on 5 Go Caravanning. And as I say, it's very good. It'll be on the 5 iPlayer or whatever they call it there. Good morning to Maureen. Can you please get the song Hey Mr. Music Man, Peters and Lee? Oh, let me write that down. Hey Mr. Music Man, Peters and Lee. Me and Maureen like Peters and Lee. We like them. Peters and Lee were a couple. I think one of them died. Did the girl die? One of them died. Peters and Lee, they were a couple. Peters was the bloke and Lee was the girl. Peters was blind and he'd come and play the piano and they'd sing together. And it was a lovely little thing, Peters and Lee. Look them up on YouTube. Their most famous one would be Welcome Home, I suppose. Welcome home, come on in and close the door. That's the one. Mary, they have lovely garden chairs and tables. Where's that? In B&Q, Mary? Well, I've got mine now. It's all done now. All sorted. All sorted. Good morning to... Let's have a look here. Oh, dear. John Parrish. A free night in the caravan. What, for getting the first message? I'm not having people staying there with me. Oh, dear. I could never... once you've lived on your own for so many years, I think it's very, very difficult. Actually, who was it? It was Sherry. Sherry Houston said that on that programme yesterday, on the Caravan programme. She said, I'd lived on my own now for 16 years, so I don't know how this is going to work out. I mean, that is... my caravan is nowhere that small. I've got to tell you that. It's static. It stays where it is. It doesn't get towed around. Okay, but Sherry Houston was on there last night. She said, how am I going to live with someone for, in a small space after being on my own for 16 years? It is difficult, I reckon. I don't think I could have someone here again, living here. I really don't. That's how it is. John, James Wow used to be good, now on Radio Essex. James Wow, I think, is on talkRADIO, 7 p.m. You may not have heard of talkRADIO. It's another national station. They haven't been going very long and they don't have many listeners, but they are up on DAB, John, if you want to have a listen to them. Look it up. Not Talk Sport, talkRADIO. It'll be on the DAB thing and it is nationwide. People I can recommend on there, Eamonn Holmes, he's very good. But he's got a most annoying sidekick. That one who was on, I think she won The Apprentice. And she is so... I don't know why she's on there. Don't know what her name is. But Eamonn Holmes, if they should just give the show to him and be done with it. I don't understand radio shows that seem to feel the necessity to have 2 presenters. Because it's just annoying. It's really annoying. That's why there's no one here. They just get on my bleeding nerves. People sitting here making comment while I'm trying to do my talking. Rude. Light Source, good morning Light Source, who says, is it true that Brits are standoffish? Yes, don't come anywhere near us. Please do not come near us. I don't know really. I suppose some people it's the same wherever you are in the world. Some people don't want to be touched or communicated with. I want you just to know, Light Source, if you see me out anywhere and you want to have a little bit of a feel, you feel free to do so, okay? If you want to upskirt my bum with a camera, you carry on and do that. All right? I'm not having any of this newness here. We're not having any of these young people, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be offended. I don't do any of that, I'm afraid. I am here to be offended and touched up as much as possible by as many people as possible, because I'm sick of them on the front page of the Mail. Running people down all the time. Dear me. Let's have a look. There we are, I think. Oh, is that all our messages? Garden chairs and tables in Morrison's. Is that right, Mary? I didn't know that. Oh, well, that's worth knowing. Thank you very much for that, Mary. Okie doke. Alan says, would you like some pens and things to give away? Yeah, well, I think I'll probably do that at some point, Alan, to be honest. I will do that. I will actually do that. All right. We'll do a couple of news stories then. Now, look at this. Don't go shopping in, is it Mexico? I think it was Mexico. I read it earlier. I've forgotten the story now. Mexico City. Don't go shopping in Mexico City. You ready for this one? Look at this. The extraordinary moment, a shopping centre in this morning's Super Soaraway Daily Mirror. A shopping centre collapsed under the weight of a heavy roof garden. The incident filmed, and it's in the Daily Mirror this morning. That I'll tweet it for you. 1 minute. I can tweet it. 1 minute. I've got Twitter. Okay, my Twitter is Chris Reardon UK. All right, so twitter.com Chris Reardon UK, and I keep saying I'm going to use that more often, but there we go. 1 moment. There we go. I've tweeted the picture, and if you click on that story, there's a video to go with that as well. All right. The incident filmed at the newly built Arts Pedregal Mall in Mexico City on Thursday afternoon. Shoppers were evacuated. That's a great word, isn't it? Evacuated. I have just been to the toilet and I have evacuated. Shoppers were evacuated from the area just 5 minutes before the sagging structure. Oh, you could be talking about my arse, to be honest. That's a bit sagging at the moment, as my mate likes to keep mentioning every time I'm changing in the swimming pool changing rooms. Before the sagging... Have you got a sagging structure, by the way? Who's got a sagging structure? Hands up. Before the sagging structure crashed downwards, sending shards of glass and metal flying. Footage shows how the building's windows began to pop before the support beams eventually gave way, scattering debris into paths of motorists on a busy nearby motorway. Can you just imagine that? Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Well, thank God for that. Thanks to prompt action by responders, according to the Mexico City Prosecutor's Office. Quote, we heard a big noise and they began to evacuate us from the plaza. Not the pizza, from the plaza, one witness said. About 5 minutes later, was when the collapse happened. Engineers were alerted to the problem when they noticed a separation between the overhang and the rest of the building. I suppose someone just looked up, did they? Oh, that don't look right up there. And then suddenly the whole thing's come crashing down. What if you were up there having an afternoon tea? How rude. Don't go shopping in Mexico, for God's sake. Hello to... Okay, we'll just ignore that one. Paul says, who gets to 50 plus without some form of subsidence? As long as the face stays young, who cares? As you can see. As you can see, Paul. Young face at all times, dear. Be careful. Another news story here, boys and girls. Katie Price is looking absolutely dreadful. She's in the sun this morning. And here's the story. I'll tweet this as well for you. Don't forget, my Twitter is Chris Reardon UK, if you want to have a look at my stuff on there. I don't tweet a lot. The only time I generally tweet is to advertise perhaps a karaoke night I'm doing or one of these shows or bits to do with the show. That's the only time I tweet. I don't tweet pictures of my dinner generally, unless it's gone wrong. Like happened the other day with an omelette. Let's see if I've still got that. I have got it. Look. Dear. That was my badly done omelette the other day. I'm not very good at omelettes. Apparently, some people are telling me that I just need a new pan, but that is supposed to be non-stick. Although someone sent me a thing with non-stick pans the other day and said they can poison you, non-stick pans. I mean, you can't win. Teflon and all that stuff. Anyway, so there's a picture which I've tweeted that as well. Katie Price. Katie Price has been pictured going topless in a sexy shoot with boyfriend Chris Boyson by the pool in Thailand. The former glamour girl couldn't keep her hands off her man on their romantic... just another one. I mean, how many, love? Do you not think you might get a bad name, dear? Eh? Katie, who's 40... Oh, come off, she looks like... Oh, and there's a picture of her, right? There's a picture of her, like, embraced with the boy, and he's got his hand on her arse. It's not a nice arse, love. Oh, my God, she's got that cellulite stuff. And she's got a tattoo at the top of her leg. How awful is that? Just awful. And, of course, the tits are out as well. All over the paper. Katie, 40, was seen getting hot and heavy. Well, I think the word there you're looking for is heavy. Not hot. Katie Price, you're not hot, love. You are fake, dear. All these bits shoved in you. You do not look hot. She's getting hot and heavy with the personal trainer. Incidentally, boys, the personal trainer is hot. I mean, do you think he loves her, or do you think it's just an easy... as they soaked up the sun. Chris, who's 29, was grabbing her bum in a passionate outdoors embrace. What bum? There isn't one. It's gone. Her bum's gone. It's just like, oh, it's horrible. It's one of the worst. I thought I had a bad arse until I saw hers. Awful. The TV star wore nothing but a pair of skimpy yellow bottoms. Oh, I feel physically sick now. Oh, God. As she covered her boobs with her hair extension. It's not even her hair. I mean, what poor child in another country has sold their hair so she can tie it onto hers? Or is it bits of plastic? How does that work? She was seen leaning against a wall and staring moodily into the distance. Shall we try that? Let's try that. Does that work for you? Oh, I've got to be topless, have I? No. You don't want to see me topless. When it's gone, and that's it. You have to just accept it, and that's it. She can't wait to get her bleeding kit off for the paper kit. How much did she get for this one? Is this another £50 story, darling? It's another 50 grand you get for getting your tits out in the sun? God's sake. The story goes on, and there's some really awful, there's some lovely pictures of him. Chris, what's his name? Chris something. What's she doing with your hand on her arse when mine's here? Come on, Chris. I've got more there, mate. Come and touch mine, please. And then there's another picture of her. I mean, this is awful. She's sitting there with her legs like that. And he's got his hand. Oh, it's just horrendous. It's just soft porn. And there's a very fine line between that and the stuff you see on youporn.com. And it's just awful. Personal trainer Chris couldn't seem to keep his hands off Kate's bum as he was spotted giving it a cheeky squeeze several times. There's nothing to squeeze. The pair jetted off to Thailand this week for a romantic couple's holiday. Oh, this is awful. So go and have a look at that story. He looks really fit. I don't know what he's doing with her. I really don't know what. He could have someone really nice, he could, and he's gone with that. Jeez, I give up. I really do with the world. I mean, he's gone with that, and there's people like me walking around who are decent, loving, can do lovely breakfasts and dinners and that. I can do cooking. Okay, the omelettes are not so good. The omelettes are not so good. But I can do nice stews and egg and chips and baked beans and things like that, and he goes with that. What is all that about? Laura says, Katie Price, leave her alone. I wouldn't say no, and they might Photoshop in the cellulite. Can't trust the papers. Oh, come off it, Laura. Who would Photoshop cellulite onto someone's fat arse? Well, it's not fat. There is no arse. Have a look, Laura. Go on my Twitter, twitter.com/Chris in the UK. Have a look at the pictures and see what... Come on, Laura. You can't say that is attractive. John Parrish says, lucky a photographer was just walking by. She sold those stores. She sells it all. She sells it like the Beckhams. They sell their life. They sell their life. Would I do that? If someone come and offered me £2,000 million to tell my life story, would you get it all? Probably not. Probably not. I'm just happy to sit here for nothing several times a week. Paul Adams says, he doesn't have much of a bum from those photos. Oh, that one to do me, Paul. I'm very happy with that picture. What's his name? Chris again. Chris, isn't it? Chris. I keep thinking it's Chris Christopherson, but that's not it, is it? Morning to Wayne Martin. Morning, Wayne. All righty. We're going to do today's birthdays now, boys and girls. Let me do the birthdays. One moment, please. And then we must pack up. I must get started. I haven't started my day's activities yet. Okay. Happy birthday this morning to... Bruce Jordan. Good morning, Bruce. Happy birthday to you, sir. Won't be seeing you at the quiz anymore. I'm afraid that's all done and dusted now. It's all finished. Happy birthday, Bruce. Happy birthday to Wendy Syrette. Hope I've said your name right there, Wendy. All right, my love. Welcome and happy birthday to Wendy. Peter Geronimo. Good morning, Peter. Long time no see. Karaoke singer. Good morning, Peter. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday this morning to Sandra London, drag queen. Aidan McCabe. 51 years old today. Happy birthday, Aidan. Lives down there in West London, don't you? Julian Gonzalez. It's been a long... You've been with the show for years, haven't you? Happy birthday, Julian. Craig Ryan today, 38 years old, Craig. Christopher Watkins. He plays the violin and he's damn good at it. Damn good. Electric one. I don't think I could ever play a violin. Very, very talented man. Happy birthday, Chris. 38 years old today. Debi Hall, singer. Good morning, Debbie. Happy birthday to you. Tristan Williams, 24. Good morning, Tristan. In Australia. Now, I worked with Tristan at Bluches in London Bridge, and we did have a laugh. We did have a laugh. And we were talking about you, actually, when we had a bit of a meet-up a couple of days ago with some of the old Belush's staff and some of the stories. Hilarious. Tristan always wore tight jeans. I think you was a bit nervous of me, weren't you, Tristan? But you had no reason to be, because it's all a show, you see. It was all part of the show that we used to do at Belush's. I was like, oh, okay, Tristan's come and sing. Come on, the tight jeans are coming onto the stage now. And he'd come up there. And the other staff, they used to have like after parties. Now, I never ever stay behind if I've just done a job. I never ever stay behind. I've done the job, I go home. But they would have parties on the roof. And there used to be this thing where they would tell everyone that Tristan was a virgin. Well, it always used to work for him, that one, because he'd always be the one who would go off with someone, a nice young lady. So that did work for you, didn't it, Tristan? Happy birthday, 24 today. And Anthony Mooland is 26 years old today. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right? Nice day to have a birthday as well. Hello to Angela, who joins us right at the end of the show. We're about to go now, Angela. Sorry, darling. Ray Reynolds, it's an omelette doesn't just fold in half in the pan. You're not doing it right. It never did. It never did. Well, we're going to leave Laura to ogle over a picture of Katie Price now. Possibly touch herself while she's looking at the pictures of Katie Price, aren't you? You naughty girl. I'm going to disappear now. And I might even ring up my sister to have another conversation with baby James, 1 year old. Have a nice Saturday, and I'll probably see you again around about 11:30 tomorrow morning, all right? Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.